Welcome to ClubhouseNews.com. You're tuned in to Clubhouse News Weekend for the week ending Saturday, November 7th. I'm Haley Ann.
And I'm Joshua. As the 2016 race gains momentum, Democrats held their second one last Friday at Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. The third Republican debate, held on October 28th, had a full stage with 10 candidates, including frontrunners Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, and Ben Carson. But the Democratic field only had 3 candidates for their second debate, as former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton faced off against Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders and Maryland's ex-governor Martin O'Malley. Once each party chooses their candidate, the Democrats and Republicans will go head-to-head until November 8th, 2016, when Americans vote for a new president. If Clinton wins, she'd be the first female president, right after America's first black president. If Florida Senator Rubio wins, he'd be the first president of Cuban descent. The race is close in both parties, so it's anyone's guess who will win.
Europe is struggling with a major refugee crisis, as millions seek asylum from chaos engulfing the Middle East and Africa. What's the difference between an immigrant and a refugee? Well, an immigrant is defined as someone who chooses to resettle in another country, usually for better economic opportunities, whereas a refugee is often forced to escape their country due to the threat of serious harm. As military extremists from the Islamic State cause havoc in the Middle East, citizens from countries like Syria are running for the border to keep their families safe. In fact, Syrian refugees have been pouring into Europe ever since civil war broke out between President Bashar al-Assad's government and rebels in 2011. The United Nations Refugee Agency registered over 4 million Syrian refugees, a number that climbed from about 230,000 in 2012. In fact, the month of October had more than 218,000 refugees crossing the Mediterranean, which is nearly as many as there were in the entire year of 2014. Neighboring countries like Lebanon, Jordan, and Turkey accepted hundreds of thousands of refugees, but with the Islamic State waging war in Iraq and Syria, millions are heading all the way to Europe. Thousands have perished trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea in rickety boats, while those who safely reached the European Union face massive humanitarian aid shortages. Italy, Greece, and Hungary are getting hit very hard, prompting security concerns over Islamic extremists sneaking in with the refugees. While Germany alone expects over 1 million refugees, Hungary is stemming the tide with police blockades and tough border control.
After 66 years of not talking, the People's Republic of China, or PRC, and Taiwan's Republic of China held historic high-level talks Saturday. Back in 1927, the Chinese Civil War broke out between the Kuomintang government of China and the Communist Party of China, or CPC. It wasn't until October 1949 that the CPC captured Beijing and declared victory, establishing the city as the capital of the People's Republic of China. Although major fighting stopped in 1950, the losing side formed their own Republic of China in Taiwan, still claiming to this day that they're the legal government of China. The more powerful nation, China, considers Taiwan part of its territory, but it hasn't invaded because the USA has promised to defend Taiwan if that ever happened. So there's been an uneasy peace for a long time. While the talks between Chinese President Xi Jinping and Taiwan's President Ma Ying-jeou in Singapore offer a hopeful sign for better relations, it'll still take baby steps to make major progress.
Another historic breakthrough happened at the World Series, where the Kansas City Royals won for the first time in 30 years, after coming from behind in 8 of their 11 postseason games. The Royals were down 2-0 in the top of the 9th before tying the game with 2 runs. Then, in a dramatic 12th inning, they scored 5 more to cement their victory. Jared Dyson scored off a hit by Christian Colon, Alcides Escobar hit a double for Colon to score, and Lorenzo Cain smacked a bases-loaded double that opened the way for Paulo Orlando, Escobar, and Ben Zobrist to score. Royals catcher Salvador Perez was named Series' Most Valuable Player.